From creepy crawling bugs to the massive Hercules beetle, here are 17 weird and terrifying insects. Welcome to Weird Wonders Wednesday. So a shout out to Caitlin letting us know that she and her first grade class like epic wildlife and made a request for this particular episode involving the weird insects and whatnot. So we hope you like this one. Thanks to Caitlin and the students for the suggestion, and you lot study hard, of course. If you have an idea for a future episode, just tell us in the comments. Cheers. 17. Fire ants. There are actually almost 300 different species of this ant worldwide. Known for their aggressiveness, fire ants can repeatedly sting animals and humans, and can attack in groups that consist of hundreds of the insects. Stings are not lethal unless you happen to be allergic to the ant's venom, and it's estimated that perhaps 1% of the human population is hypersensitive to that venom. Allergic reactions can be fatal, however, and if multiple stings are received, even a healthy person could suffer severe reactions like anaphylactic shock. Antlion. There are about 2,000 antlion species found about the globe, and the larvae will consume ants, which is where they get the fearsome name. The more mature insects will refine the taste with pollen and nectar, although some species will prey on small arthropods. In North America, the larvae are known as doodlebugs due to the odd markings left in the sand. Wheelbug. Reaching up to 1.5 inches long as adults, this is one of North America's biggest terrestrial bugs. Wheelbugs are known to use the beak to inject venom that dissolves the insides of the victims. Now, given the victims are soft-bodied prey to begin with, their meals must have the consistency of a Slurpee. Mosquitoes. These are often considered the most dangerous insect species in the world because they're responsible for transmitting malaria. The mosquito's bite actually introduces parasites into the victim's bloodstream. Traveling to the liver, the parasites will grow and reproduce. Did you know in 2015 an estimated 430,000 deaths resulted from more than 200 million malaria cases reported worldwide? Africanized Honey Bee. While there's no physical way to discern an Africanized bee from a common European bee, their respective behaviors will reveal which is which. Regular bees will take a few seconds to determine whether or not you're a threat to the hive, whereas Africanized bees do not hesitate to swarm out of the hive and attack, with as many as 100,000 of them, and they've been known to chase intruders for more than a half mile. Africanized bees are aggressive, territorial, and can survive in deserts as well as jungles. Army ants. They can reach around 1/2 inch long and are notorious for swarming over and breaking down nearly anything that gets in the way, no matter how large. They're found in the Amazon basin and have huge jaws like machetes, which can measure about half the length of the ant itself. An entire colony can comprise more than 1 million of the insects, so just imagine how huge that swarm must be. Did you know there are accounts of army ants overtaking and dismembering animals the size of horses? Botfly. Since botflies comprise several varieties, we'll focus on the human botfly, which has a nasty story to tell. They'll lay the eggs on any insect that will try landing on a human being, such as a mosquito. Once the carrier deposits those eggs on the victim's skin, body heat will cause them to hatch. The larvae then burrow into the host's skin and take up residence there, eating and living right there. The eggs can actually grow anywhere in the human body, depending upon where they're deposited, which means a botfly could even dig a path straight into your brain. Assassin bug. They're also called kissing bugs because they have a habit of biting humans on the facial lips. The bite is capable of transmitting a parasite that can result in Chagas disease. Now that's an infection that can potentially cause fatal damage to major organs. They earned that assassin nickname because of the ninja-like method of attacking enemy insects in a sudden and lethal manner by using the razor-sharp beaks to impale the victims and kill them. Tse Tse Fly. Now, this insect, found only in rural Africa, is infamous for carrying the sleeping sickness, or trypanosomiasis. That disease is spread when they bite the victims, which causes a parasitic infection. After a few weeks, headaches and fever can develop, along with numbness and loss of coordination. Lack of treatment can lead to heart and kidney complications. The name sleeping sickness was coined because neurological damage can disrupt the victim's sleep cycle. When the 24-hour rhythm becomes fractured, the victim can stay awake during the night and experience episodes of sleep during the day. House centipede. These scary-looking critters can measure up to 4 inches long and have some 15 pairs of long legs, which enables them to move at surprising speeds, scuttling across floors or racing up the walls. It is an unnerving sight, to say the least. They can live their entire lives within buildings, so you might want to be on the lookout. Now, they're not known to bite humans, which is good, because these insects carry a venom that can feel like a bee sting. Dementor Wasp. This species of cockroach wasp was first documented in 2014 and is so scary that scientists actually named it after the demons in the Harry Potter books. It's native to Thailand and measures up to 10.9 millimeters long. The insect is called a cockroach wasp because of its unusual behavior toward cockroaches. When it stings its prey, a toxin is released that leaves the cockroach alive but unable to control its movements. That allows the wasp to more easily capture the roach and direct it to its nest, where it's used for the wasp's larvae to feed off of. Scorpionfly. Now, this might be a case where the insect looks scarier than it really is, but it's definitely a scary look. Thankfully, scorpionflies only threaten insects that are dead or dying, scooping them up with the powerful jaws. The scorpionfly gets the name from the appendage that resembles a scorpion stinger, but in some species, this is actually the enlarged genitals of the male. Chances are you'll either find that scary or amusing. Asian giant hornet. Now, here's a creature that would be difficult to miss, and chances are you would certainly want to miss an encounter with one. The big insect is around the size of your thumb. With a wingspan approximately 3 inches, it's the world's largest hornet. It also has a fearsome stinger that can release a flesh-eating venom, and that can induce cardiac arrest. Now, that sounds bad enough, and it is, but the venom also contains a pheromone that alerts others of its ilk that you are a target. Because they're known to fly at speeds up to 25 miles per hour, they can be difficult to outrun. Bullet ant. They're kind of small to be considered one of the biggest threats in the Amazon rainforest, but they are one of the world's largest ant species, going about 1 inch long. They get the name due to the severity of the bite. Some victims have claimed it's as painful as being shot with a bullet. The ant's venom not only produces a painful sting, it also results in overwhelming pain that causes swelling, weakness, and lethargy. The critter is also called the 24-hour ant. That's about how long the misery lasts. Jewel wasp. This critter belongs to the family of cockroach wasps, not unlike the previously mentioned Dementor wasp. Well, the jewel wasp has a body that appears almost metallic, with green and blue colorations. It's known for injecting venom directly into the brain of a cockroach, and that turns its victim into a type of zombie. Now, what transpires next does in fact sound like a horror movie, because the wasp lays its eggs into the abdomen of the cockroach, and upon hatching, the larvae will feed on the roach, chewing through its innards, all while the host is still alive. Giant weta. Now, this one sure does look intimidating, but it doesn't have the same scary behavior as some of the other insects on the list. Still, the weta's sheer size is enough to give people the jim jams. Found in New Zealand, there are 11 species of this creature. They're among the heaviest insects in the world, going about 2.5 ounces. It's heavier than some rodents and birds, and the bodies can measure around 8 inches, including the legs and antennae. Hercules beetle. Now, as you take a look at this picture, it looks as if someone is holding a type of alien life form. The oblong shape and orange coloration, along with the bizarre horn-like pincers extending from the body, convinced many people that this was an extraterrestrial species. And video actually shows the object wriggling and writhing around in a creepy fashion, which only added to the speculation online. But the strange life form is actually the larva of the aptly named Hercules beetle. It's in the third stage of the larva's life as it morphs into an adult beetle, and it'll stay dormant within that cocoon as it develops its exoskeleton within. Did you know the Hercules beetle grows more than 6.5 inches long and can weigh around 3 ounces? By the way, if you think they look weird at this stage of the life, they start off looking like a huge yellow worm, big enough to nearly fill up a human hand. But as adults, they really do look like a fearsome alien species made out of metal and can lift objects around 850 times the body weight.